Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Millennium Stadium in Featherstone, where we're here to bring you uninterrupted commentary of this Betfred Championship Round 10 action between Featherstone Rovers and Swinton Lions. Both sides coming to the game desperate to get back to winning ways after defeats respectively last week. We're a few minutes away from kickoff with glorious sunshine draped across the Millennium Stadium. The team news is in. We'll start with the visitors, who make 4 changes to the side that lost out to York last time out, with Lucas Green, Jake Burns, Jordan Case and Liam Cooper all dropping out of the side. Into the lineup comes Leon Cowan, Deneve Barmforth, who's on loan from Hull FC, Mitchell Cox and Jonathan Vaughan. So for Swinton lineup like this, Dan Abram is the fullback, a 3-quarter line of T. Ritson, Jake Spedding, Jaden Hatton and Rhys Williams. Deck pattern partners Jordan Gibson in the halves, Leon Cohen, Deneve Barmforth, Daniel Spencer Tonks up front, Andrew Bradcock, Mitchell Cox and Lewis Hall round off the starting side. On the bench for the Lions, Josh Eves, Brad Hammond, Gavin Roden and Jonathan Vaughan. Featherstone, they make 4 changes of their own to the side that lost out to Barrow on the road last week, with Paul Turner, Morris Kamano, Manoa Wakokikoki, Keeneland Tomlinson all coming out of the side. And into the side come Nathan Massey and 3 debutants for Greg Eden, who starts in the halves, alongside Ben Nakabawa on a season-long loan from Lee Leopards, and Jack Brown, who's on dual registration from Hull Kingston Rovers. So Featherstone side line-up like this: Caleb Akins is the fullback, and 3-quarter line of Connor Wynn, Josh Hardcastle, Greg Minican and Gareth Gale. Danny Addy partners Greg Eden in the halves. Danny Addy, of course, captaining the side again this afternoon. Ben Nakabawa starts up front alongside Connor Jones, and Nathan Massey returns to the side with Brad Day, Brad England and Jack Bussey, who makes his 150th Featherstone appearance this afternoon across 2 spells with the club, starts at loose forward. On the bench for James Ford's men, Harry Bowes, Zach Fishwick on dual registration from Hull KR, Wellington Albert and, as aforementioned, Jack Brown. Manoa Wakokikoki is the 18th man. So as I've already mentioned, Featherstone come into the game in indifferent form, currently sitting 4th in the table with 6 wins and 3 losses to their name, of course. A disappointing 25-12 defeat on the road to Barrow last time out. We'll be looking to turn their fortunes around this afternoon, get back on track. A win, incidentally, despite Toulouse winning yesterday, will put them 4 points clear of Toulouse in 4 and cement that 4th spot at the moment in the championship, although we are approaching, of course, just a third of the way through the season. And Barrow and Swinton, rather, they come into the game having lost 30 points to 22 at home to York. They come into the game 10th on the table with just 3 wins and 6 losses so far in the season. A real sort of struggle for them so far this year, but they'll be fancying their chances. A few players with Super League experience, of course, in their lineup. Rhys Williams, of course, on the wing, as experienced as they come. T. Ritson on loan from St Helens, and as we've already mentioned, Deneve Barmforth starting at hooker on loan from Hull FC. Be very interesting to see how Greg Eden goes, making his debut today after coming across from Halifax a few weeks ago. He starts in the halves, probably not the position you would have thought he'd play in, but an injury to Paul Turner forces James Ford's hand. He comes in, very experienced at playing a number of different positions, extremely skillful player. I'm sure he'll add a lot, and also having the experience of Danny Addy partnering alongside him will certainly make for an interesting partnership. We'll see how things pan out. I said we're just a few minutes away from kickoff here. A healthy crowd have turned up. A lot of people rightly standing in the sunshine, basking the glorious sun that we've got this afternoon, but makes for a very, very hot in the middle of the field. Energy sapping conditions, and you'd imagine the team that plays these conditions the best and wins the energy battle will go a long way to winning this game. So it's Featherstone Rovers versus Swinton Lions. Round 10 championship action. Can Featherstone claim their 7th win of the season and put daylight between them and 5th place? We're just a few minutes away from kickoff now as we await the entrance of the 2 sides. James Ford, of course, will be looking to get a fast start. A couple of weeks ago against Dewsbury, that ended up coming home with a big win over the Rams, but slow starters and were targeting their starts. Didn't get the performance they wanted against Barrow last week, and will be looking for an energetic and fast start against what is a powerful Swinton side, full of speed and skill out wide as well. And as we mentioned, plenty of experience in their lineup. Still actually awaiting the 2 sides to come onto the field. It looks like the two sides are ready. It looks like Featherstone will be led out by Jack Bussey, of course. A huge milestone for Jack Bussey, one of the most experienced and extremely well-liked member of the Featherstone squad. 150 appearances for Featherstone this afternoon across 2 spells with the club, of course, stints at Toronto Wolfpack and London Broncos during there as well, but we certainly wish him all the best. Been terrific for Featherstone, certainly in the last few weeks, and deserves all of the accolades he gets. The two sides are now out on the field, just lining up just for the complete the pre-match ritual before kick-off. Featherstone, of course, in their home white and navy strip, and Swinton in a striking green jersey in their alternative strip. So that's it. Jack Bussey just takes a minute to acknowledge the crowd walking out with his kids. A very nice moment there. And we're just seconds away from kickoff here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone will be attacking from right to left as we see it, travelling uphill in the first half, and they will have first use of the ball. Swinton will be kicking off. The man in the middle this afternoon, the referee, Scott Michalauskas. And here we are, the stage is set. Round 10 action, Featherstone versus Swinton Lions. Listening live on FRTV. A big game in the context of both clubs' season. As Swinton get the game underway off the boot of Deck Patton, takes one bounce and almost got over the head of Eden, who collects it and just takes the ball, get that first touch out of the way in Featherstone colours, and he'll play the ball on his own 10. Gale links, they're going wide early here, Featherstone, and a flat pass for Dade. Lovely ball out to Aikens now, a bit of space. Minikin into the space, feeds it to Wynn. Wynn's over the halfway, cuts back in field, and his penalty given. In fact, is it a forward pass? It's a forward pass, I beg your pardon. And a terrific shift play, real ingenuity shown on just the second tackle of the game. Provided the space there for Minikin, given to Wynn. Not sure which pass he's ruled forward there, but a forward pass given against Featherstone, and what was looking to be an excellent opening attacking set just breaks down there at the final moment, and that'll ultimately be a cheap turnover, and Swinton will get the scrum feed on the Featherstone 40, but certainly like the look of throwing caution to the wind, chancing their arm in that opening set, and really found some space there, but Swinton come forward, Patton out the back, gives it to Abram. Abram is wrapped up and put down 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. Patton hands it on to Hall, gives it to Spencer Tonks, who's wrapped up in the middle by Massey, back in the side, of course, this afternoon after missing last week's game. Bound for that acting half, gives it to Patton. Patton out the back to Gibson. Gibson short ball to Cox. Cox runs into the tackle of Brad Day, and over the top there was Addy. Still tackles in the bank for Swinton. They're 20 metres away. They're spinning the ball left. Hall gives it out to Patton. Patton out to Abram. Abram finds Hatton, who's wrapped up. Good tackle on the edge there by Brad England. 10 metres away from the line now, Swinton. They come forward. Spencer Tonks, second carry in this set. Palms away from his man, Nakubawai. Closing him down. That'll be the last one. 10 metres out, bang in front of the post. They come left. Patton dinks it in behind the line. It comes backwards off Jack Bussey, who collects it and takes it safely for Featherstone. So Featherstone a little bit more conservative on this play, trying to get upfield through Gale. James Ford will certainly be happy with the way his side defended their line. An early examination on their defensive line as Hardcastle looks to make some ground. He's wrapped up. They come forward again now through Aikens. And a penalty going against Swinton here. Not square at the play of the ball. It was a quick play of the ball. And Aikens straight on the attack. Caught the Swinton players off guard, and that'll be a nice relieving penalty for Featherstone. 3 minutes of the game gone here. Featherstone Rovers 0, Swinton Lions 0. And the touch finder on the far side from Danny Addy is taken and tapped on Featherstone's 40. England straight into the teeth of the Swinton defence there. He's bundled backwards, wrestled eventually, standing in the tackle, still going. England refuses to be put down and plays it just short of halfway. Bussey drops off Massey now. A little bit of interchange of passing between the forwards. Massey Makes a good 3 or 4 metres after contact into Swinton territory for the first time. That'll just be second tackle. Addy out the back here, gives it to Day. Flat pass, runs at Gibson. Gibson stands his ground with help from Spencer Tonks. He'll play it 30 out. They come short side. Addy off his left foot. Tried to get away from Gibson. Offloads it for Jones. Jones spotted a half gap. Door was closed on him by Hall. Featherstone approaching the Swinton 20. A couple of tackles still to come. Nakabawai, route 1, just straight up the middle. Eventually wrestled to the ground. And that'll be the last one. 10 metres away. They come left. Addy puts a little chip kick into the in-goal area. It's taken. And Abram's going to try and get out of the in-goal area here, and he's bundled over the dead ball line, and that will be a goal line dropout. Nice little weighted, well-weighted kick there from Danny Addy. Just found the space. Fullback Abram came flying through for it. He took it just on his try line and deemed to have run into the in-goal area by the referee and put over the dead ball line. Another set of 6 coming up for Featherstone. So good early pressure after an error on their opening set. Just building nicely into this one as Patton. A booming kick, about 53 metres on the fly, taken by Eden, given on to Massey. 2 ex-Castleford teammates combining there as Massey just runs into a solid shot from Swinton, it has to be said. 3 defenders in there, Spencer Tonks and Hall, primary tacklers, as Nakabawai shaped to give it, kept hold of it himself, trundling up and over the 20-metre line. Good yards on offer from the debutant so far. Through the middle comes Jones. Shaped to give it to Addy, kept hold, almost slipped the net. Swinton doing just enough to close him down. 15 metres out, bang in front of the post. They come left again. Addy out the back to Akins. Akins just chimes into the line, but keeps hold of it this time. Good defence on show from Spedding in off his wing. 10 metres out. They come back through the centre of the field. Flat pass out there to Bussey. Bussey bumps away from one. He's shrugged out of the tackle. Can he get to the line here, Jack Bussey? Eventually, the Swinton defenders do just enough to regroup and hold him up a metre short. He's bang in front of the post. This will be the last one. The pass is an untidy one. It's battered backwards by Addy, who then knocks it on, and really just fluffing their lines on the last play there, Featherstone. But it's given as a penalty against Swinton for offside, hand in the ruck, which would explain the poor quality of the pass from Connor Jones. So apologies to him. A hand in the ruck from Swinton, and the tap restart. Nakabawai straight at the Swinton defence once again. A real test of Swinton's defence early here as we approach the 6-minute mark. Still 0-0. Addy, flat pass out to Eden. Eden goes through the line. He's just knocked off his feet. And that saved what would have been a debut try. Plays the ball 5 short. Addy, centre field again. Gives it to Massey. Massey just stands in the tackle. There's 3 green jerseys around him. Barmforth all over him there. Jones has seen some space out of dummy half. Simple as you like, Connor Jones. Just weaved his way. A quick play of the ball. Darted out to the left-hand side. Put some footwork on a would-be Swinton defender and scores the opening try of the game. Simple as that. Disappointing if you're Swinton. Delight if you're Featherstone Rovers. We're just 6.5 minutes into the game here at the Millennium Stadium. And Featherstone have the lead. It's 4 points to 0. Connor Jones, how often do we see it? The fleet of foot, the speed of thought around the ruck. You just noticed the quick play of the ball. Barmforth was slow to retreat on the line. There was a little bit of space to the left of the ruck, far too much space for Swinton's liking. He just darted out, weaved his way around one defender, and there's acres of space. Nobody laid a finger on him, and he scores about 10 metres to the left-hand side of the posts for Featherstone's opening try of the game. Danny Addy been handed the kicking duties largely this season. It's a fairly simple one to start off with this afternoon. About 12 metres away, just to the left-hand side of the uprights. Starts his run-up and guides it between the posts. Extends the lead now. It's Featherstone Rovers 6, Swinton Lions 0. There's 7.5 minutes gone here. And a good start, just settling into it. A new half-back pairing, of course, again this afternoon. Combinations needing to be built, and that'll just build some confidence. And 3 sets on the Swinton line eventually brings points. As Patton gets the game back underway. Bit of an awkward-looking kick. It's taken really, really well done in the end, but trapped on the foot by Massey. Otherwise, that was going over the dead ball line, and he just makes a good 10 metres forward as well. Excellent play from the veteran prop forward. Gale, as he often does, play two. Upended by Barnforth, but taken just short of the 20. Addy hands it on to Day. Day had a man on his shoulder in Minikin, kept hold of it himself, and he goes down in the tackle of Gibson and Cohen. Minikin now getting involved up and over the 40. Featherstone working their way upfield well here after points. Couple of tackles still in the bag. Jones out of dummy half, the try scorer. Shrugs off a couple of defenders, goes again, pinches a couple more metres into Swinton territory. This will be the last one. Addy has the kicking duties, just puts it high. A tricky one. Bounces between Abram. And it's picked up by Jones now, and Jones is bundled to the ground in the end by Badrock, I beg your pardon. And it's nearly disaster for Swinton. In fact, Featherstone been deemed offside there. And Connor Jones, the man who took the ball, was actually deemed to be in front of the kicker, Danny Addy. I was just about to say, Swinton nearly paid a big price there for letting the ball bounce. Dan Abram and Rhys Williams, between them, getting nowhere near that ball and bouncing into the arms of Connor Jones, but he was deemed to have been within the 10 and in front of the kicker. So that's a relieving penalty for Swinton, who will take over on halfway from that kick to touch. And they spin it into the middle of the field through Hall, who gives it out to Patton. Patton out to Abram. And they're working their way now wide now through Hatton. And Hatton is taken to ground, but not before he's made 15 metres. Williams with his first touch comes forward. And he stands in the tackle. The Welsh international, bags of experience. Spells at Salford, London in Super League. They come forward again through Cohen. Cohen goes down just shy of the 20-metre mark, bang in front of the post, middle of the tackle count for Swinton. Barnforth that acting half, switches the play for Gibson, out to Patton. Patton stands, gives it to Abram. In fact, it goes behind everybody, and it's picked up, nearly picked up by Eden, who knocks it on. And this will be, perhaps fortuitously, another set of 6 coming to Swinton here. You can see what Eden was trying to do. Scoops that up, he's into open space there, but wasn't able to pick it up off his bootlaces. In fact, the scrum has been given to Featherstone. I beg your pardon, sir. The referee must have seen a knock-on from Swinton in the lead up to that one. So good harassing pressure in defence there on the edges from Featherstone. Wins them the ball back. And a cheap turnover for Swinton. The pass, has to be said, from Patton out the back was not a good one. And Featherstone will have the scrum on their own 30. Leading by 6 points to 0. You're listening live on FRTV. 11 minutes of the game gone. And Swinton compound that turnover with a cheap penalty once again. Frustration. I believe it was Barnforth, the man offside. As Addy just punches the ball, makes plenty of metres on that one, and all of a sudden Featherstone have a full set of 6 attacking deep within the Swinton half here, looking for their second score of the game and looking to go 2 scores clear of the Lions. As England takes that first carry, plays it about 18 out. Jones skips out of dummy half, beats one man, comes back, gives it to Bussey, who hands it on to Nakabawa. A little bit of space around the back. Challenge the Swinton defenders. Barnforth was just up to the task, brings him down. 5 short. Jones has one already, gives it out to Bussey this time. Out the back to Addy. They've got numbers. Flat pass there for Day. Day is wrapped up in the end. A desperate tackle from Spedding and Cox. The ball comes flat for Massey. Massey upended. Good low tackle there from Hall. Short ball for Nakabawa. They're really trying to punch some holes in the middle unit of Swinton here. This will be the last one. He's going to play it just to the right-hand side of the post, a metre short. Jones out to Addy. Addy out to Eden. Eden skips away from 1-2, finds the kick into the in-goal area, and it's grounded by Brad England. The referee points to the spot. What brilliant ingenuity from Greg Eden, who looked for all money to be wrapped up. He'd taken the odds to it himself. He came off his right foot, spotted a little gap, and just as the door closed on him, he was going to ground, he managed to smuggle the ball onto his boot, and Brad England was the only man in attendance, dived on it in the in-goal. And just like that, Featherstone have their second score of the game. We've had 13 minutes gone here at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 10, Swinton 0. And we know the class, we spoke about it in the build-up to this game, of Greg Eden, making the switch from Halifax Panthers a few weeks ago. He's had to bide his time. Comes into the game this afternoon, perhaps not where he was originally expecting in the halves. He has played in the halves, of course, in spells at Castleford, but very much controlling the right edge there. Very, very good on his feet. Great balance, attacking prowess. Just jinked into the half space there. Swinton did just enough to bring him down, but never dead with the ball. Just managed to find boot to ball there, and it was perfectly weighted into the in-goal area, and Brad England just had to drop on it and gets another try to his tally this season. And more importantly, if Danny Addy can add this kick, doubles the Featherstone advantage inside the opening quarter of an hour here. A little bit more tricky this one, a little bit further out, but to the right-hand side of the post this time. Addy punches the ball between the posts. 2 from 2 from the Featherstone skipper. It's now Featherstone Rovers 12, Swinton Lions 0. Fantastic early start. We spoke before kick-off about James Ford's desire to have his side starting fast, and they've certainly done that in this game. They had the intentional, though it came with an error, their intention was shown right from the opening kick-off. Second play of the game, spinning the ball wide and testing Swinton, and they've certainly continued to do that. And they find themselves 12-0 up early doors here. Off the restart, Massey plays it 20 metres out. Hardcastle shifting it again here. Addy to Day. Day into space, finds Aikens. That shape again as Aikens cuts into the backfield. He's just put on the ground there in a desperate tackle by Spedding. It's just as well he did that as well. Featherstone already up to the 40. Miniken stands, eventually goes to ground on that halfway line. Fantastic set after point shaping up for Featherstone here. Bussey, route one straight through the middle again. Beats a tackle and then loses the ball and just brings that set to a frustrating end. There's a little bit of a complaint there from the Featherstone players that there was a hand in there from Swinton. Bussey trying to offload the ball. In the end, just knocking it on into a Swinton man. And Swinton get a little bit of a reprieve here. They'll have a scrum feed 40 metres from their own line. So Swinton will feed the scrum here. Ritson, as I mentioned, on loan here from St Helens, of course. Struggled to get a start in the Saints side this year, but playing in the Swinton colours to get some much-needed game time this afternoon as Swinton come forward over the halfway line through Hatton. Hall gives it on to Spencer Tonks, who just backs into the line there and is put on the ground and dived on by Bussey. Hall. A lot of ball playing in the middle. Lewis Hall just keeps hold of it this time and takes it forward. He's wrestled to the ground by Massey, who's all over the top of him. That'll be 30 metres away from the line now, Swinton. Patton. Out the back to Gibson. Gibson to Abram. Abram steps away from 1-2. Finds the offload for Gibson. Back out to Spencer Tonks. Cox now. Just tries to stand up and go forward and takes a little bit. Few metres further forward, eventually wrapped up by Day. That'll be the last one, 30 metres out. They come short side. Gibson now puts boot to ball, looking to put Aikens under a bit of pressure. Aikens takes it well and beats the first man and is wrapped up by Ritson. Now Connor Wynn off his left foot, comes forward, beats a couple. This is what he does well, Connor Wynn, eventually wrapped up by former Hull FC teammate Barmforth. Day comes forward, taken by Cox. Over the top there was Spencer Tonks. Featherstone approaching the 30 inside their half, middle of the tackle count. Eden gives it on to Gale. Gale, that imposing figure. Invaluable metres forward again from the big winger. He'll play the ball 35 away from his own line. Jones, quick play the ball again. A little bit of space. He's wrapped up just short of the halfway line. That'll be the last one. So Featherstone kicking from inside their own half. Addy punches the ball, a low trajectory kick. Takes a couple of bounces and it'll be cut off by Ritson on his 20. Comes across field into space there, Ritson. Ritson weaving in traffic, eventually goes down and loses the ball in the tackle there, but deemed to have been stolen by Nakubawai. There was certainly an arm around the ball. You always wonder if there's an argument for a loose carry there or a deliberate pull of the ball. The referee ruling against Featherstone there, and Swinton will have a clearing penalty as we approach 18 minutes on the clock here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone 12, Swinton 0. Converted tries to Connor Jones and Brad England. The scores of the game so far. But Swinton just in the last few sets, just being given a little bit more field position for Featherstone's liking. Couple of relieving penalties and mistakes as Cowan comes forward. On the first tackle, he'll play it 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. This is arguably Swinton's best set of 6 since the opening set of the game, as Spencer Tonks comes forward again. Busy work from the front rower in the middle. Plays it 25 out. Barnforth to Gibson to Patton, who just fires the pass out wide to Ritson. Ritson tries to go around Wynn. Wynn sticks to the task well and puts him down for minimal gain. 15 metres out, 5 metres in from this near touchline. They come back through the middle of the field now, Swinton, through the hands to Hall. Hall stands in the tackle, put on the ground there. A trio of Featherstone jerseys, Massey and Bussey, chief tacklers there. They bang in front of the post 10 metres out. They come left again. Patton dinks the kick into the in-goal area. If the bounce is nice, they will score. And it's touchdown there by Jaden Hatton. And the execution on the kick was a good one from Deck Patton, who took it right into the line. He thought at first that it could kick on over the dead ball line, but the bounce at the last minute sat up for Jaden Hatton, who was the only man in attendance, and he did well to ground the ball before the dead ball line. And Swinton hit back in the best possible way. Featherstone will be disappointed with that, having defended well up to that point. It's now Featherstone Rovers 12, Swinton Lions 4. And as we spoke about, certainly plenty of quality in this Swinton side. None more so than Deck Patton. Plenty of Super League experience, of course, with Warrington. Spells at Bradford, now finds himself at Swinton. And just showing his class there. Well-weighted kick. And it was really the perfect kick. It caught the Featherstone defence out. And Patton looking to add the extra 2 here, which he does, and cuts the gap to 6 points now as we hit the 20-minute mark at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 12, Swinton Lions 6. So Featherstone will be looking to respond from that setback. They'll be kicking off with Connor Wynn. Puts boot to ball, a high hanging kick into the sun, taken well there by Badrock. And he plays it inside his own 20, wrapped up by Eden there. Spencer Tonks comes forward again, backs into the defence looking for an offload, can't find it, eventually locked up by Brad England. Good tackle there from the back rower. Short side play for Hatton, the try scorer, pinches a couple of metres but taken again by Eden. Poor pass along the deck, eventually picked up by Hall. Hall just stands in the tackle and he goes down eventually on his own 40. So Swinton just working their way through their set here. After points, they're going to kick early through Gibson. He's looking for a 40-20. It's got the trajectory wrong though. It takes one bounce and cut off in the middle of the field by Aikens. In the end, not the best kick really, as Aikens spins away from one but can't get away from the second defender there in Cowan. Spencer Tonks came in to finish him off. So Featherstone starting their set 30 metres away from their own line as Featherstone make their first change of the game. One debutant for another. Nakabawai is off and Jack Brown comes on to make his debut for Featherstone, of course, on dual registration from Hull Kingston Rovers after joining the Robins a few weeks ago from Colosh City rivals Hull FC. And he gets his first touch now straight into the action and good yards after contact. He'll play it 40 metres away from the Swinton line. Bussey now, off the quick play of the ball, coming forward. They go again here. And that'll be the last one for Featherstone. 20 metres out, they're going to kick it. Addy's got loads of time, arguably far too much time to kick that ball. He's looking to put Gale on the top, bats it back in field. And it's eventually put down by Patton, but that'll be a turnover deemed to have been a knock-on from Featherstone. And that'll just be a handover of possession, Swinton 10 metres away from their own line, but not a bad place to turn it over if you're Featherstone. A good tackle there under the ball there from Bussey. Terrific technique just to upend Williams and make sure he could no further forward. Ritson takes the pass from Abram and he's put down inside his own 20. Good defensive set so far from Rovers. Addy wraps up his man. That was Cox who plays it. Patton's going to kick early here. They're under pressure here. Swinton got a heck of a boot on that. He's got plenty on that Deck Patton. Gale needs to be on his bike here, and it's going to go. He's done very well to keep that in. In fact, he hasn't It's gone on the touchline, and that is a fantastic kick, it has to be said, from Dec Patton. He kicked that from inside his own 20. He got plenty on it, and Gaz Gale did what he could. He thought he just managed to keep the ball in, but deemed to have put a foot on the touchline when doing so. And that's effectively 1 10-metre to the other, just from the kick of Dec Patton, and these can often be momentum-changing plays. And Swinton getting a huge play from their experienced halfback, now have a tap 10 metres away from the Featherstone line. And this is a huge examination once again on the Feth defensive line. And that's a great tackle first up from Brown, up and under the ball. And there's cries for a knock on there, but not given. Swinton come forward, Gibson dummies, tries to go around the outside of Day, can't do so. He's put down 5 metres away from the line. Barnforth waits at acting half. Back through the middle of the field, Hall. On to Cohen, put on the ground there. Another uncompromising tackle from Bussey. Over the top was Brown. They play it bang in front of the post. Barnforth spots the gap, trying to get to the line there. Deneve Barnforth, and he scored. He just caught the markers napping. He managed to split them one way and the other. He's a big body in the middle of the field, Deneve Barnforth, and he scores for Swinton just to the right-hand side of the posts. And just like that, in the last few minutes, this game has flipped on its head. We've got 15 minutes to go to the break. Swinton have a kick to come to level up the scores. It's Featherstone Rovers 12, Swinton Lions 10. And Barnforth, as we mentioned, in the side, on loan from Hull FC. Needed to get some much-needed game time. Has struggled for opportunities with the black and whites. But certainly making his mark there, just out of dummy half. Featherstone had done everything right up until that point. He just skipped one way, came off his right foot, split straight between the markers, and had the strength to take Jack Brown with him over the line. Scored a simple try, far too simple for James Ford's liking, you'd imagine, as Dec Patton guides the ball between the posts, and we have an equal ball game here. It's Featherstone 12, Swinton 12. Frustrating last few minutes from Featherstone, but brought undone by what was an absolutely fantastic kick from Dec Patton. Gaz Gale didn't do a lot wrong. They were kicked early in the tackle count. It was only third or fourth play, and he punched the ball the best part of 80 metres downfield and got them the ball 10 metres out, and they were good enough to capitalise. The Featherstone need to respond here after just losing their grip on the ball, but that will certainly help as they make a real mess of that kickoff. Gavin Roden, who's just come onto the field in the last couple of sets, just knocking the ball on, simple as you like, under no pressure off the kickoff. They just handed it on to him and he just puts it down. And we talk about momentum changes in a game. The Dec Patton kick a few minutes ago was arguably one for Swinton. This could well be the play that kills the momentum for Swinton and gives Featherstone the impetus, as they now have a scrum 10 metres away from the Lions line. Scrum is won and fed. The ball comes out to Minikin. Minikin is wrapped up by Spedding. The Swinton defence was on him almost immediately there. The pass didn't quite come as quickly as it needed to. Akins gives it on to Brown. Brown in the tackle of Gibson, and Hall still going Jack Brown. An untidy play of the ball, but a penalty given against Swinton, messing around in the play of the ball there. Cohen protests his innocence, but they wouldn't let Jack Brown get up and play the ball. Very low centre of gravity, Jack Brown, very difficult to put on his back, and wins a penalty for his side as Bussey. He's put on the ground there, 8 metres away from the line, just to the right-hand side of the posts. Jones, out to Addy, short ball for Brown. Brown's going to be difficult to stop, he's taking bodies with him, and he's held up over the line there. Brown, he'll have to retreat the 10 metres and play it just to the left-hand side of the post. They've got options left and right. They come right open side. Bussey stands, gives the ball out to Addy. Addy, flat pass there for England. England trying to go around Badrock. He's put on the floor. In fact, he's not. He's still going here. England plays it quickly for Jones. Flat pass there for Massey. Massey's going to be difficult to hold up, but they've done well there, Swinton, just to get under the ball. They hold him up a blade of grass short, just to the right-hand side of the post. Back through the centre again. Addy. And he drops off Day. The space for Brad Day. He must score. And Brad Day gets Featherstone's third try of the afternoon and puts them back in front. Great sleight of hand from Danny Addy, who just drifted across field disguised the pass really nicely, timed it perfectly to drop Brad Day underneath. It opened up a huge gap in the Swinton defence, and despite the cover tackle round the ankles, Day had the momentum to take him over the line. And that's just the try that Featherstone needed to get themselves back in control of this game. We're approaching the half-hour mark here at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 16, Swinton Lions 12. Terrific play again from Danny Addy. How often do we talk about the qualities that Danny Addy brings into the side? Wherever you put him, he does a good quality job. Playing in the halves again this afternoon. Got the ball first receiver, took a couple of Swinton defenders across the line with him, just dropped the ball underneath, perfectly timed play. Just put Brad Day into the space he needed to get over the line and finished it coolly. As Featherstone make a couple of changes here. Nathan Massey, Jack Bussey off. Zach Fishwick, Wellington Albert injected in the middle of the field to finish out this first half, as Addy has the conversion attempt from just to the left-hand side of the post, 11 metres out, to re-establish a 6-point lead for Featherstone. And he makes no mistake, 3 from 3 from the Featherstone skipper this afternoon. Scoreline now, Featherstone 12, Featherstone 18, Swinton 12. Swinton in no real hurry to get this game back underway. As was mentioned, energy sapping conditions in the middle. It's a very hot day, very sunny. And this will be the point in the game where fatigue starts to set in. The referee, Scott Mikolauskas, just stops the clock as Patton readjusts the tee. Now we're ready to go. Puts boot to ball. It's taken on the try line there by Eden, who hangs it straight off to Fishwick, and Fishwick just straight into 3 Swinton jerseys, takes them forward up and over the 20. Terrific first carry off the bench from the dual registered forward as Gale comes forward. Best part of 15 metres after in the play there, and Featherstone already approaching the 40, just 2 tackles gone in the set. Albert up and over that 40 now, looking for that customary offload, keeps hold of it. He'll play it 5 short of halfway. Jones comes left to Brown. Finds the offload for Jones. Jones into some space now, and he's put to ground there by Roden. Good set after points so far, 10 metres into Swinton territory. England takes the ball from Eden, crabbing across field. England tried to take on Gibson. The defenders have fallen off him. He's still going, Brad England. And Gibson eventually comes again, but he finds the offload for Jones. Jones, the flat pass is taken by Spedding. It's intercepted. Now then, has he got the pace? Connor Wynn's running him down quickly here. He takes him to ground. He's spun up and gone again though, but he's wrapped up eventually by Connor Jones, 15 metres out. Huge play coming up as Ritson tries to go on the outside. Wynn doubles up on the defensive efforts. Fantastic play from the Featherstone winger. 2 try savers in as many players as he comes again. And he's going to go to the line here, but can he get the ball down? Jake Spedding, he scored in this right corner. And real end-to-end action here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone looked to be on the attack. The pass was picked off by Spedding at the far end. He raced a good 60 metres forward. He was taken down by Connor Wynn, eventually finished off by Jones. Ritson came with a quick play of the ball and went again. He was tackled by Wynn, but Wynn couldn't quite triple up on his efforts as Spedding just took him on one and powered over the line in the in-goal area. Scores the try for Swinton Lions, and the gap is just 2 points again as we approach the half-time siren. 8 minutes or so to go to the break. It's now Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 16. And you have to feel for Connor Wynn there. Couldn't have done much more defensively. But it was good eyes-up play from Spedding. He knew that Wynn was exhausted after those defensive plays, a big chase back and a couple of really good defensive tackles. And he just took the odds to him. He was the only man on the blind side of the ruck. He backed himself to get over the line, and he did. And Wynn just couldn't stop him from getting the ball down as Patton pulls the ball to the right-hand side of the post, so Featherstone stay in front, but just by the narrow 2-point margin it remains. Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 16. And although it ultimately was a play that ended up in points for Swinton, you could argue that Connor Wynn's defensive efforts there has forced Swinton into that corner, which has made the kick more difficult. But Featherstone will ultimately be disappointed with that, just handed the ascendancy back to Swinton with a pass that was picked off, and we've seen the momentum swing a number of times in this game. Now back with the Lions, who have the ball 10 metres from their own line. Roden plays it. They come forward again now. That's Cohen playing the ball on the 20. Barnforth at acting half. Past Cox. Takes it from Gibson, and he's wrapped up by Jones. Over the top was Day on the 30-metre line. Third tackle. Barnforth again. To Hall. Hall just keeps hold of it this time. Backing into the line, goes down short of the 40. Barnforth gives it to Patton, who's going to kick early again. She punches the ball along the deck this time. And it's going to go just inside the in-goal area. And it's another 40-20, is it, for... It is a second 40-20 of the game from Deck Patton. I thought he'd gone over the 40-metre line, but the referee ruling it just inside it. And a fantastic play once again from Patton. And you have to say that there wasn't a lot of urgency shown there as Barnforth just steps off, takes the ball to the line here. He's going to go close to scoring, and he's held up a metre short. And all of a sudden, Featherstone defending for their lives here to stay in front in this game as Hall comes forward. Put on the ground 10 metres out. Just the second tackle. Huge defensive set for Featherstone. Gibson gives it on to Cox. Cox is met by Addy. And he's wrapped up and finished off there. The tackle of Fishwick. Day's up quickly. He comes short side. Spedding trying to go around Miniken. Miniken's up to the task, puts him to ground. 10 metres out. Gibson picks it up off the bootlaces. Long looping pass out to Patton. Patton dummies. Gives it out wide for Abram. Abram trying to go on the outside of Hardcastle. Steps his way back in field. Running out of options here, Dan Abram. Eventually just has to take the tackle of Eden. Couple of tackles still in the bag. In fact, that will be the last one for the Lions. They're 10 metres out. They come short side. Patton, flat pass there for Badrock, and he's put on the ground. He found the offload out there for Hatton, and he was put to ground a metre short. Good tackle in the end by Gale and Aikins, and Featherstone survived that scare. Hardcastle coming forward. Plays it 5 out. Gale. To the rumbling forward, takes Hall a couple of metres with him. Good relieving run there from Gaz Gale. Really slow play of the ball. The referee allowing it to go on as Hardcastle gets his second carry inside this set. And he's driven back in a good tackle there from Patton underneath. Over the top was Badrock. Brown gives it to Aikins. Aikins wasn't a lot he could do with that one. Featherstone just losing their way in this set a little bit. This is better from Day. Route 1 straight through the middle of the ruck. Picks up 15 metres or so. Featherstone are going to have to kick from deep inside their own half here, and he just knocks on at the play of the ball, Brad Day. Featherstone just feeling the pinch a little bit here as we approach the half-time hooter. It's still 18 points to 16 in Featherstone's favour. Make it about 4 minutes until half-time. We're really starting to come up with a couple of crucial errors, and it was poor play from Brad Day, just fluffing his lines there. As Swinton now have a full set of 6 inside Featherstone's half. Cox is the man who will play it 22 metres from the line. Barnforth at acting half, gives it to Gibson, crabs across field, gives it out to Patton. Patton gives the ball on there. Short pass to Hatton, who takes the tackle. There's a good tackle from England down low. Hall gives it on to Cohen. Cohen is wrapped up in a great tackle there by Addy. Barnforth waits at acting half again. Gibson drops off Spedding, the most recent try scorer in this game. Door closed on him by Fishwick. Underneath was Connor Jones. They'll play it just to the right-hand side of the post, 10 metres out. Gibson gives it on to Patton again. Patton, that familiar kick into the in-goal area. It's taken on the second attempt there by Josh Hardcastle, who did really well under pressure, but he does concede a goal line dropout. And Swinton just turning the screw here, finishing the half. The stronger side, it has to be said. As we're inside the final few minutes of this first half, Featherstone just need to hang on here. This is an important defensive set for them, leading by just the 2 points. As Addy punches the ball, it's taken on the 40 by Williams. Williams, who comes in field, hasn't had a lot of opportunity with the ball, Rhys Williams, but he'll play it 30 metres out. Hall, middle of the field. Stands in the tackle, spins and put to ground. Barmforth. It's on to Cohen. Cohen just bustling his way upfield. Taken by Fishwick. 10 metres out. Ball spun back in field. Patton, short ball there for Roden. Put to ground there and a good uncompromising tackle from Albert. Set restart there though. It comes to Gibson. Gibson dummies and goes himself, and that defence was pretty ordinary from Featherstone, it has to be said. He just dummied, took it to the line. There was only Jack Brown there on the inside, and he just sort of fell off the tackle, and Gibson strides through to score and sensationally gives Swinton the lead for the first time in this game in the shadows of half-time. It's now Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 20. It's a difficult one because Featherstone in the last few minutes have had a couple of things go against them. There's a 6 again there in the previous tackle. Not entirely sure what the difference was in any other previous play of the ball, and give them a fresh set of 6 on their line. The back of the goal line dropout, but the defence there James Ford won't be happy with was the way that they responded to that. The speed off the line just wasn't there, and the spacing between the two defenders was just far too big, and Jordan Gibson, with barely anyone laying a finger on him, scores the try. And Swinton, who were 12-0 down inside quarter of an hour as the siren sounds at half-time, will take an advantage into half-time as Patton adds the extra 2, which brings to an end the action in the first half. As I said, Featherstone raced out of the blocks with converted tries to Connor Jones and Brad England, giving Featherstone a 12-0 lead, before Swinton hit back with tries to Jaden Hatton and Deneve Barmforth to make it 12-all. Brad Day roared over the line to put Featherstone back in front after half an hour. At the final 10 minutes of the second half, of a couple of 40-20s from Deck Patton, and a goal line dropout force from Patton as well. Found 2 more tries, an intercept Jake Spedding, and Jordan Gibson scoring in the shadows of half-time, converted by Deck Patton, makes it Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 22. So plenty of good things Featherstone have done in this first half, but plenty of things for them to work on, and James Ford will be eager to get them in the sheds and point out the things they need to work on to get over the top of this. Certainly not panic station, certainly well in this game. But at half-time, Featherstone trailing by 4 points. Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 22. We'll take a quick break and be back for all the second half action shortly. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Millennium Stadium in Featherstone, where we're here for all the second half action of this Betfred Championship Round 10 clash between Featherstone Rovers and Swinton Lions. We're just a few minutes away from kick-off of the second half here, and it's a well-poised game of which Featherstone are trailing Swinton by 22 points to 18. Featherstone came roaring out of the blocks, scoring 2 tries in the opening quarter of an hour to leave by 12 points to 0 before Swinton hit back to make it 12-all with 2 tries of their own. Brad Day then went over for Featherstone after half an hour to put them back in control. But the end of the first half belonged to the Swinton Lions, adding tries to Jake Spedding and Jordan Gibson on the stroke of half-time. Deck Patton 3 from 4 from the boot for the visitors, leaving Alan Kilshaw's men with that slender 4-point advantage. Featherstone will be attacking downhill in the second half, crucially. We saw 2 fantastic 40-20s from the boot of Deck Patton, the Swinton halfback, in the first half, both coming down the hill, of course. Featherstone will be looking to use that advantage in the second half. Parts of frustration there for Featherstone, of course. And we talked in the lead up to the game about making a fast start. They certainly did that. But the period towards the end of the first half was probably one to forget for James Ford's men. Just struggled to kick clear at crucial times. And Swinton, who haven't had too many opportunities with the ball, have been good enough to take the ones that they have. Currently outscoring Featherstone by 4 tries to 3. But still only the 4-point advantage. By no means are Featherstone out of this game. Certainly not. They'll be backing themselves to come out firing in the second half. Both sides, of course, looking to get back to winning ways after losses last time out. And a win this afternoon will put Featherstone 4 points clear of Toulouse in 4th place in the championship, heading into the week off. As both sides come back out onto the field, Featherstone first of all, led out by captain Danny Addy. Back out into the sunshine on the Millennium Stadium. As mentioned, extremely hot conditions. We're thinking that summer well and truly arriving this afternoon, certainly, but we won't get too complacent. Certainly still had plenty of wet weather around, but really dry track this afternoon as Swinton come back out onto the field as well in their changed green strip. I imagine one of the messages at half-time from James Ford will be trying to put more pressure on Deck Patton. He's brought Featherstone undone a couple of times with 2 40-20s, kicking early in the tackle count and just playing with a little bit more patience. A couple of poor mistakes have brought Featherstone undone. Both teams are ready to get the game back underway. Swinton will have first use of the ball. Featherstone attacking from left to right in this second half. The kickoff is taken in by Gavin Roden, who will play the ball 10 metres away from his own line on the first. They come forward again through Cohen. Played the entire first 40 minutes. Leon Cohen. They come forward again here through Hall. Hall will play it 30 metres away from his own line. They come forward again through Roden. Second carry in this set. Barnford Waits at acting half. 35 metres away from the line. Going to kick early again here, Patton punching the ball down. It's another kick that's going to, if it's not careful, kick on for a 40-20 cut off just in the end there by Connor Wynn, I beg your pardon. You can see the difference that the slope makes. That'd have been a good chance of going over the touchline heading downhill, but Wynn doing enough to cut it off in the corner as Hardcastle comes forward. Aikids now. Taken low by Hall. Over the top was Barnforth. Albert now. A little bit of room to wind up through the middle of the field. Finds the offload for Jones. Jones holds the pass up there for Brown. Brown taken, put down just inside Swinton territory. Eden. It's the ball out. It's an untidy pass picked up by Gale. Gale trying to go around Badrock. Eventually beats him, finds the offload there for Fishwick. Fishwick now picks up some speed and is taken in the end by Badrock, and that's not a bad set from Featherstone in the end. They'll finish their set 30 metres away from the line on the last. Addy has the kicking duties, puts the ball high, knocked off his feet there, putting Ritson under pressure. Ritson takes it well and immediately swallowed up by Greg Miniken. So Swinton start 10 metres away from their own line. No change to the half-time score, a couple of minutes gone here at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 18, Swinton Lions 22. And Hatton comes forward. Try scorer in the first half. Bamford shapes to go right, comes left. Williams. Standing in the tackle, Rhys Williams. Upended in the end by England. Finished off over the top from Hardcastle. Barnforth. Out of dummy half. Picks up 10 metres or so over the 40. Put down by Brown. That'll be the last one. Swinton kicking from inside their own half. Patton under a little bit more pressure. Goes high with this one. Taken comfortably there by Wynn, who has a little bit of space to wind up now. And shape to give the pass to Aitkins. Kept hold of it himself. And that's a great defensive result for Featherstone, who have just the first tackle 5 metres short of the halfway line. Addy for Miniken now. Miniken stands in the tackle of Hall and still struggling forward and eventually put to ground there by Cohen. 5 metres into Swinton territory. Albert looked to get the arm free, took a couple of defenders forward with him, up to the 30. And the set restart comes against Swinton there, hand on the ball, slowing the ruck down unfairly, according to the referee, Scott Michalauskas. So good attacking opportunity for Featherstone here. Brown goes on to Albert. Albert just punches a hole, he loses the ball in the tackle there, and it's going to be a knock-on. We'll wait to see with the decision of where the knock-on's going against here. You'd imagine this will be head and feed to Swinton, and it will be. Albert, as we said earlier, customary offloader, but don't always go how he plans, and tried to get his arm free there, and it's just knocked down by the Swinton man, and he just knocked it on. And a cheap turnover there, and frustrating for Featherstone, who are building some pressure there nicely on the Swinton line, and a real let-off for the Lions. Scrum feed is one. That's a really untidy pass, but Williams did really well to pick that up off his bootlaces, and takes the tackle 15 out. Barnforth onto Hatton. Hatton plays it 25 out. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Featherstone 18, Swinton 22. So through the middle of the field comes Roden, who almost escaped the clutches of Jones. Got hold of the shirt tails to put him to ground. Plays it for Patton again, kicking inside the 40. He's got plenty on it again, but not got the angle this time. It takes one bounce and cut off on the 10 by Akins. Akins runs at Badrock, and he's put to ground on his own 30. Albert comes from the field. Jack Bussey onto the field. As they come forward again here, Miniken. Miniken just bumping his way up to the halfway line. Plenty of yards on offer here from Featherstone. They've gone forward really well in the opening 3 sets of this second half. As Miniken already 5 metres into Swinton's territory. As Brown comes forward again. The offload out the back, and the penalty comes against Swinton. Hand on the ball, pulling the ball from Jack Brown's grasp. And more pressure going to be asserted here on the Swinton line. Featherstone looking for the try to level up the game here. Come forward now through Bussey, onto Addy. Addy floats the ball over the top there for Wynn. Wynn's going to have a stroll in here in the left corner and dots it down. Wonderful play from Danny Addy, who embraces the try scorer in the far left corner. Wonderful pass over the top. Just noticed that the Swinton defenders had come in off the wing, floated the pass out wide, and Connor Wynn raced down the touchline to get his first try of the afternoon and levels up the scores here. We've had 7 minutes of the second half gone. It's now Featherstone Rovers 22, Swinton Lions 22. And Danny Addy again, showing his versatility, showing his quality. Just took the ball to the line, pinged the ball over the top. Hit Connor Wynn on the chest, perfectly floated pass. And the winger did the rest, just scorching down the left touchline, dotting the ball down. There's nothing that Abram could do coming across. And Danny Addy now with the conversion attempt. Difficult one, the hardest one he'll have, or he's had all afternoon. Tight to that left touchline. Taking it a long way back, about 25 metres. Has the conversion attempt to put Featherstone back in the lead as Swinton make a couple of changes here. Spencer Tonks and Josh Eve coming onto the field. Eve's getting his first action of the game. Addy now. Steadies himself, takes his time. Starts his run up now. It's a low kick. But he hasn't got the angle right on that one, so the scoreline remains 22 apiece. 8 minutes of the second half gone. What a game this has been so far. Real end-to-end stuff. But Featherstone starting the half the better. This is what they needed. They needed a good start. They've dominated field position and territory and getting the try on the back of it. That will please Coach James Ford. As the kickoff comes over the top of Eden, but takes it over his head and gives it to Hardcastle now. Hardcastle crashes into the Swinton line. Plays it 20 metres away from his own line. Gale now comes forward. Up to the 30, just trying to bullock his way forward. So valuable the metres after contact Gaz Gale makes every time. As Fishwick, who was instrumental in the lead up to that try upfield. Another good carry through the middle. Jones, out of acting half, tried to catch Roden offside. Referee having none of it. Jones will play it on halfway. Brown keeps hold of the ball this time, rides a tackle, finds the offload there for Fishwick. Fishwick into space again, just supporting up the middle, picks up another 15 metres. Fishwick, fantastic play, up to the 20 now, 80 metres on the set after points. Last tackle, Addy, flat ball there for Minikin. Minikin's going to score! And Featherstone go bang bang, score 2 tries in 2 minutes. Coming down the hill, plenty of momentum, great interchange of passing between Jack Brown and Zach Fishwick through the middle, bought them best part of 30 metres upfield, and then on the last tackle, Addy just took the ball to the line again, pinged the pass out to Minikin, showed and good, had too much pace for his outside man, and Featherstone racing to the lead here. They now lead the Swinton Lions by 26 points to 22. And how quickly games can change. I mentioned after half-time, every set that Featherstone have had has been a dominant one in terms of metres made. And that time on the last tackle, they made 80 metres from the kickoff. And this time, Addy with the right pass selection once again, firing out the ball to Minikin, who just had space, beat his man one-on-one, went round him, scored untouched on the left edge. And 2 quick tries after half-time has Featherstone back in front in this game. Danny Addy with a slightly easier conversion, about 5 metres in from the left touchline on that far side. Certainly still not an easy one, but we'll be looking to give Featherstone the 6-point advantage. Steps up to strikes it. The crowd will tell you that he's guided that between the posts. 4 from 5 so far this afternoon from skipper Danny Addy, and the scoreline now, Featherstone Rovers 28, Swinton Lions 22. Swinton make another change. Jonathan Vaughan coming into the game for the first time in the red headgear. Still haven't seen Harry Bowes for Featherstone. There's Scott Mikolauskas just having a word on the touchline actually with James Ford. Interesting interaction between the Featherstone head coach and the referee. Did stop the game at that point. But he's back in the middle now, blows his whistle. Time is back on and the game is back underway. Eden did very well there, and a difficult kickoff from Patton. And he's lost the ball there, the Featherstone man, but ripped out again by Swinton, and Swinton their own worst enemies in the last few minutes. Just a couple of really cheap ball steals. And the turnover, or what would have been a turnover, now a penalty to Featherstone as Addy finds touch again. And Featherstone will start their set on the halfway line. Hardcastle taps it, gives it to England. England rides that first contact and goes forward. Wrapped up by Bedstock as Jones comes forward, taken just shy of the 30. What Featherstone would give for a 3rd successive try here as they come forward again through Brown. Up to the 20. Jones gives it to Bussey. Bussey comes off his right foot, space back inside for Brown. Brown thundering to the line, keeping people at arm's length, and eventually submits to the tackle 5 metres short. Golden opportunity coming up for Featherstone. Banging through at the post. They come right. Bussey dummies himself in game 150. Can he get over the line? Still spinning out of tackles, Jack Bussey. But he's going to go down a metre short here, and this will be the last one. Badrock, the chief tackler there. What have Featherstone got on the last play? Spin it back wide. Addy dinks the ball into the in-goal area. There's people all around the deck, and Ritson has to make it dead. And that will be a goal line dropout. Well-weighted kick from Danny Addy once again. And instrumental in this turnaround in fortunes at the start of the second half from Danny Addy. This time drawing a repeat set for his side. And Featherstone well in the ascendancy now in this contest. Looking to make that dominance count on the scoreboard. Dropout is taken. Taken by Akins. Hand handed on to Brown now. Brown has really warmed into this contest. Jack Brown, first appearance for Featherstone on dual registration from Hull Kingston Rovers. Plays it 30 out. Fishwick, he's also been impressive. Up and over the 20-metre line, just the second tackle. So Featherstone have got tackles in the bank. Bussey gives the ball out to Addy. Addy drops off Day. Carbon copy of the play that he scored on in the first half. This time the defence was alert. Vaughan closed the door on him. 10 metres out to the left-hand side of the post. They come. Bussey pirouettes in the middle. Finds the offload for Jones. Jones hands it on to Addy. Just need to settle things down here as they give the ball out to Eden. Eden tries to go around his man. And he's taken in the end by Hatton. And does just steady the ship for Featherstone. Frantic play. Back through the middle they come. Addy off the left foot. Danny Addy's going to do it himself and scores to the right-hand side. And there isn't a player on the field who's had more of a say on this contest in the second half than Danny Addy. He set up 2 tries himself. He scores himself this time. Just came off his left foot, first receiver. The Swinton defenders just completely overrunning the play. Cut through the gap, reached the line, scores to the right-hand side of the post. And more crucially, puts Featherstone back 2 scores in front. They lead the Swinton Lions by 32 points to 22. And Addy now be looking to convert his own try. You'd imagine the easiest kick he's had in the second half so far. This one will be fairly straightforward for him. As Connor Jones and Zach Fishwick receive a round of applause. They come from the field, replaced by Ben Nekabawai and for the first time into the action, Harry Bowes. So Ford just going to the bench just to freshen things up in the middle of the field. Connor Jones has been excellent, as he always is so far, getting a spell. And Addy, what can you say about this man? Absolutely superb, leading his side after half-time. Puts the ball between the sticks, and Featherstone are out to a 12-point advantage. 23.5 minutes to go here at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 22. Kick-off, game is underway. Eden takes it, gives it on to Nakabawai now. Nakabawai up and over that 20-metre mark. Swinton really struggling to contain the middles and, well, the general go forward of Featherstone, it has to be said. Just rolling downfield with relative ease as Bowes pinches 10 metres on the back of that play. Nakabawai second carry. Stands in the tackle here on the halfway line. Put to ground by Spencer Tonks. Brown comes forward again. Jack Brown. Just route one upfield. Bowes out of acting half. Little bit of space for Bowes. Bowes almost split the defence. And Eves, a desperate tackle from him. But best part of 80 metres on this set again. Last tackle. Addy into the line. Just chips it in behind the line this time. And he's just put a bounce of the ball too much on that. And the first foot that Danny Addy's put wrong in this second half just trickles over the dead ball line, beat everybody over the dead ball line, and that'll be a 7 tackle set and a relieving one for Swinton. Seems like an eternity since they had the ball, Swinton. They'll play the ball 30 metres away from their own line. Williams now looking for a relieving run. Half got through the gap, but bundled backwards in the tackle from England, and Nakabawai comes short side for Hatton. Hatton put to ground. Tackle of Hardcastle, helped out by Eden. Plays it 5 short of halfway. Hall now through the middle of the field. Gives the ball on for Cox. Cox grounded by Bowes. Good tackle from him. Over the top was Brown. 5 short of halfway, Swinton. They come over the halfway line now through Gibson onto Vaughan. Vaughan stands in the tackle. Put to ground by Addy, 40 metres away from the Featherstone line. They come short side, Abram looking to split the line there and taken on the inside by Day. Desperate defence needed and made by Day, but they come short side again. Eves chips the kick over the top, a little bit too much on it, and Akins has room to move now. Through the middle of the field, Caleb Akins is into the backfield, and he's wrestled to ground there in the end by Vaughan, but not before he's got up to the 30-metre line. Fantastic defence into attack play from Caleb Akins once again. Gale comes forward and plays it on the 40. Hardcastle. Strong shot over the top there from Cox. Puts him to ground. Featherstone a 5 short of halfway. Nakabawai. Over the halfway line as Jack Brown gets a rest. Massey comes onto the field. Bussy now. Standing in traffic. Throws bed to ground, eventually plays the ball. This will be the last one. Addy kicking from 30 out. Puts the ball in the air now. Tester for Abram, takes it, and he's tackled, does very, very well actually to stay in the field of play there, Dan Abram. This is going to be a difficult set for Swinton to get forward as the defence comes in from Hardcastle and England. Swinton still inside their own 10. Hatton up and over that 10-metre line now, but that's the third one. Put to ground. Slow play the ball. They come forward, that's a strong shot there from Bowes on Cox. Wasn't a lot of momentum in that run, and he was just knocked onto his backside by the substitute hooker. And Swinton trying to get the ball wide here through Vaughan. Vaughan into the line, fires the pass out wide, and Ritson's away here on the right edge. Ritson's got men inside. He tries to go on the outside, he's cut down by Akins on the last tackle. Very good fullback play. This will be the last one. The Featherstone defence hasn't reset. They need to go to the left touchline, Swinton, but Patton back through the middle. Finds the offload there for Eves. Eves finds the pass. It's knocked down by Danny Addy. And you thought if the pass went wide there was a good chance that Swinton would have scored on the right edge. Addy managed to get his hand to the ball but couldn't reel it in, and this will ultimately be another set of 6 for Swinton. And as we've seen time and time again in this game, just when it looks like it's getting away from Swinton, they're able to come up with a play, this time through the hands, that buys them field position out of nothing. It was a great ball from Jonathan Vaughan out to Ritson. Ritson, plenty of pace. Fantastic defence on show. Try-saver from Caleb Akins. But the set comes again. Patton now the bounce. A short ball, in fact, for Hatton. Hatton is going to go close to scoring. That's a great tackle from England, who just held onto the ball enough to pull him away from the try line. Barnforth onto Roden, and Roden's gone over the line here. The ball's come free, but the referee has ruled that he's scored. And it should have been tougher for him defensively there, Gavin Roden. He just ran into right to the heart of the Featherstone defence, bumped off a couple of tackles, got the ball down to the left-hand side of the post. And we won't get another look at that, obviously, but the ball came spilling out of the tackle there. And Roden scores and brings Swinton back into this game. It's now Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 26. As Deck Patton puts the ball between the sticks. The scoreline now, a 6-point game once again. It's Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 28. We're set for pulsating final quarter of this game. We've got 17 minutes of the game remaining according to the clock. 6 points in it again. Swinton just will not go away in this game. Try out of nothing, really. Featherstone had done exceptionally well to limit them to just 25 metres in that setup to the last tackle, and then Vaughan just pinged the ball out to Ritson. And Swinton, off the back of that, get their first try of the second half. Kickoff is taken by Williams and given on to Cox. Good smothering tackle there by Bussey. Abram now. Always busy at fullback, wrapped up. 25 away from his own line. Barnforth at acting half. Comes blindside. Gives it on to Badrock now. Plays it 35 out. Patton out the back to Gibson, onto Abram, out wide now to Spedding. Spedding trying to get on the outside of Minikin and does so. He gives it to Ritson. Ritson's away down this right edge. He's got Spedding in support. He beats his man, finds the offload for Spedding. Spedding finds the offload there for Cox. And Swinton have gone back to back once again in this game, and that really is a really well-worked try from the Lions, it has to be said. Disaster if you're a Featherstone fan. But they got the ball away to Ritson again. It was Spedding who got on the outside of Minikin, gave it just enough space for Ritson to get on the outside of his man, cut back in field, rode the tackle, found the offload to Spedding. Fantastic cover defence from Featherstone, kept coming, but in the end, Spedding able to get the offload away for Cox, and Cox dots down under the black dot. And we are going to have a level ball game once again here. It's now Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 32. Mitchell Cox, the most recent try scorer. That'll be really disappointing from James Ford's point of view, as Patton adds the extra 2 from bang in front. And it's now Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 34. Extremely high-scoring game, this one. And Featherstone will wonder what they have to do to kill off this game. They've been 12 points in front at 2 different times in this game, but haven't been able to keep the foot on the throat. And Swinton hitting them with 2 tries in 2 minutes, both converted by Deck Patton. And that scoreline, that advantage eroded away again. We've got 15.5 minutes to go at the Millennium Stadium. Who wants to win this one? As the kickoff goes out on the full from Connor Wynne. From bad to worse for Featherstone, and they've had periods in this game. They had it in the first half where they were well in control of this one. And a couple of defensive errors and ill discipline. Swinton got back into the game and led at half-time, and they're in danger of doing the same again in the second half. There's the penalty on halfway. Patton finds touch on that far side. And Swinton have the attacking set on the Featherstone 20. And if you can believe it, are looking for the try that will put them back in front in this game as they come forward again now. Through Roden. 20 metres out. Barnforth gives it to Patton. To Gibson. Gibson wrapped up by Vaughan. Good tackle there by Danny Addy. Roden comes forward. Got the comeback started for Swinton. No way forward for him this time. Massey wraps him up. Patton into the line. Short ball there for Badrock. Badrock's going to race away and score here. And the defence just melting for Featherstone Rovers. A good ball to the line there by Patton. Just hit Badrock with a flat ball, but the Featherstone defence was just nowhere to be seen. He had too much pace there on the angle for Caleb Akins, and Featherstone find themselves behind now heading into the final 14 minutes of this game. It's Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 38. It's been such a high-scoring game here. Patton has the kick from bang in front to bring up the 40-point mark for Swinton. And he does add the extra 2. It's now Featherstone Rovers 34, Swinton Lions 40. We've still got 13 minutes of this game remaining. We had 6 tries already in the second half, 3 to Featherstone, and then 3 to the Swinton Lions. Swinton's coming in a blistering 4-minute spell here in which Featherstone have completely lost control of this game and now find themselves behind, but they've been in this position before. As the kickoff comes, taken by Williams, beats a couple of defenders, and eventually put to ground by England. Cox, the man, will play the ball now, 40 metres out. Barnforth at acting half. To Eves. Eves playing as a sort of middle forward role with Barnforth on the field as well. Barnforth out of dummy half. Still going forward, Deneve Barnforth. And he's knocked the ball on there in the ruck, and that's a poor play from Barnforth, just trying to get up too quickly and play the ball, and that is the error that could snap, once again, see the momentum change in this game. Featherstone getting a reprieve, as they will have the scrum feed 30 metres away from their own line. Swinton had made their way upfield there in dominant fashion, but making the mistake there. Still plenty of time remaining, just under 12 minutes on the clock here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone 34, Swinton Lions 40 if you're listening live on FRTV. What have Featherstone got here? About a month ago they came from behind late to beat Widnes. Can they do the same again here against Swinton? Minican comes forward. He's taken down 5 short of halfway. Ian Hardman on in the background here, barking instructions. As Bowes comes from the field, Jones back into the game for the final 10 minutes in this one. Massey plays it 40 metres away from the Swinton line. Bussey, Nakabawai. Plenty of time still remaining. They don't need to panic here, Featherstone. Akins to England. England into a little bit of space. It's opened up for England. He's had the ball knocked out of his hands, and it's picked up by Abram now, who launches the counter, and Cox eventually takes the ball. And agonising for Featherstone once again. England had burst into the backfield. They just had the ball knocked out of his grasp. Abram now plays it. Gingerly gets up to play the ball. Williams put to ground by Eden and Hardcastle on the 40. Hatton coming forward. He's put to ground now. Jones, and over the top there is Bussey. 5 short of halfway, Swinton. Still tackles remaining. Going to kick early though again here. Patton just punches the ball along the deck. And that's going to go over the touchline about 15 metres away from the Featherstone line. And Patton just taking a little bit of the sting out of it. Been very, very end-to-end, energy sapping in the last few minutes in particular. This game, in fact, extremely end-to-end. Very, very exciting for the neutral. Nerve-wracking if you're either of these sides. As we're inside the final 10 minutes. Featherstone 34, Swinton at 40. What have Featherstone got in the final 10 minutes here? Minican comes forward. Addy, acting half, gives it on to Gale. Gale bumps one out of the way. Still going forward here, Gaz Gale, up to the 40. Massey, charging onto it. Winds up, bumps away from Vaughan, who comes again and puts him down 5 metres into Swinton's half. Jones, flat pass there for Addy, inside for Akins. Rides one tackle, put to ground by Vaughan. 35 away from the line. Addy hands it on to Nakabawai. Nakabawai straight through the middle. That'll be the last one. 20 metres out. Big play coming up here. Addy puts it high, looking to put Ritson under a little bit of pressure. But just a little bit too far for him, for the Featherstone chasers. And the Swinton winger takes it comfortably. Spedding, crabbing across field. Don't know what he's trying to do here, Spedding, and he's wrapped up and he's put over the try line, and he's going to concede a goal line dropout. And for all of the good things that Jake Spedding's done in this game for Swinton, a bit of a brain explosion there from the Swinton centre. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Fantastic defence from Featherstone Rovers though. Wonderful play from Bussey and Hardcastle, just hustling across the field, dragging him over the try line and conceding a goal line dropout from absolutely nowhere. Ball taken, a couple of bounces eventually picked up by Minikin. Nobody wanted to take that one. Minikin now rides the challenge. Plays it. Addy gives it on to Massey now. Massey coming forward again. Approaching the 20 on just the second tackle here for Featherstone. Slow play of the ball. Bussey into the line out the back. Aikens. Aikens is wrapped up in a ball and all tackle there by Badrock. Just puts a stop to the play. Bussey finding space around the ruck, gives it to Aikens. Aikens steps off his right foot. Straightens things up, Caleb Aikens. Finds the offload for Massey. Massey comes forward, beats one man. Trying to beat a second one. It's Hall is the man to halt his progress. 5 metres short of the line, just to the left of the post. Jones out of acting half, spins and goes himself. Connor Jones has to get the ball down. He has got the ball down for his second try of the game, and arguably the most crucial one for Featherstone Rovers, who aren't done in this game yet. We've got 7 minutes of the game remaining. And the quick play of the ball from Massey. Connor Jones, as he did in the first half, a little bit more to do this time. Picked it up from dummy half, took the odds to it, spun out of a couple of tackles and managed to wrestle the ball to ground in the in-goal area. He gets the try that brings Featherstone, could bring Featherstone level here. It's now Featherstone Rovers 38, Swinton Lions 40 with a kick to come for the home side. Danny Addy now. The conversion attempt from just to the left-hand side of the post. Surely he can kick this one to level up the game remarkably at 40 points apiece. 5 metres to the left-hand side of the post. Steadies himself. Steps up and adds the extra 2. And we're all locked up here again at the Millennium Stadium. 80 points scored in this contest with still 6 minutes remaining. It's Featherstone Rovers 40, Swinton Lions 40. And with all those tries scored, we're still no closer to finding out who's going to win this game. Set for a grandstand final 6 minutes here. Who's going to close the game out? Swinton back on the halfway. The kickoff comes, taken by Eden again, handed on to Nakabawai. Nakabawai careers into the defence. He's been good in his first appearance. Nakabawai made plenty of metres after contact. Plays it for Gale, going wide here again, Featherstone. Interesting tactic as Aikens splits the line and he's into the backfield, but he's done so illegally. Running round the back of his man, a penalty going against Featherstone, and that's just crucial defence, crucial discipline, I should say. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but you do wonder why they were trying to do this, as Swinton are now going to take the conversion, a penalty kick attempt from about 35 metres out, 10 metres in from the right touchline where the penalty was given. And having just got back level in this game, a penalty in possession against Featherstone could see Swinton back in front. Deck Patton has only missed one conversion so far in this game. Has the opportunity to put Swinton back in front. 4 minutes of the game remaining. Steadies himself, steps up, strikes it. And his flags are in the air. Swinton are back in the lead. It's Featherstone 40, Swinton Lions 42. Still time in this game. Featherstone will probably have another 3 sets to try and pull this one out of the fire. It's been end to end. The short kickoff coming. It's knocked down by Featherstone. Featherstone have the ball back. Greg Eden gets the ball and gives it to Addy. Addy gives it on now to Day. Day just straightens things up. Says to play the ball. And there's a lot of fans around here calling for a high tackle there on Brad Day. The referee not obliging with the call. Brad Day will have to go back and play the ball. 35 metres away. Still tackles in the bag here though for Featherstone. Massey plays it 32 metres out, bang in front of the post. Bussey comes forward again. Stands in the tackle. Messing around in the play of the ball, a really slow play of the ball coming for Featherstone. Nakabawai out wide to Addy. Addy spins in the tackle, trying to get away from Vaughan. Vaughan sticks to the task well and harasses the Featherstone captain backwards. Still tackles to come here. We're inside the final 3 minutes. Massey. Not much enterprise in that play, just takes a tackle, burns a tackle there, just on the left-hand side of the post, 10 metres out. Nakabawai out the back for Akins. Akins to Eden. Eden out the back for Hardcastle. Hardcastle trying to go on the outside of his man. Hardcastle's going to go close. He's brought down a metre short. This will be the last one. Gale for Eden. Eden punches the ball out wide. It's gone backwards, that one. Minikin takes it. Minikin has to put the ball on the boot here. He's going to go into the touchline here, and he's gone over the touchline, and that was arguably one of Featherstone's worst attacking sets of the game, just when they needed something. And Minikin is bundled into touch on that far side. Still time remaining here, but they need to hurry up. Make it probably about 2 minutes of the game remaining. Featherstone 40, Swinton Lions 42. Come forward, Abram. It's cut down in a tackle there. From Jones, slow play, the ball's all around here for Swinton. They're just trying to close this game out. Come forward again now. Good relieving run there from Lewis Hall, Barmforth. So down to Cohen, who's back on the field. Cohen up to the 40. Hall again, stopped, put on the ground there, and a good tackle by Jones. There's a bit of argy-bargy and a few arguments there between Connor Jones and Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall's trying to play for a penalty here. He's trying to stop the game but he's not getting anything from the referee. We've got 30 seconds of the game remaining, I've heard in the background there. We'll see if that's accurate. The referee's just stopping the game here to bring Danny Addy in. He's having a word. It's on report that there's something's gone on in the tackle there between Lewis Hall and Connor Jones. Connor Jones now on report. Swinton just need to play out this set, you'd imagine, as Patton punches the ball down. It's taken by Akins. Akins crabbing across field. It's put to ground there by Swinton. Ball comes wide now. Addy checks his run, tries to wrap up Vaughan. He's lost the ball. It's gone backwards. Eventually picked up by Swinton. They've lost the ball now. Swinton have picked it up. Vaughan dabs the ball into the backfield. It's picked up by Wynn. Wynn just manages to stay in the field of play, but Featherstone have got 100 metres to go here and not many tackles to do it in. Trailing by 2 points. Gale plays it 10 metres out. Ball comes wide to Eden. Eden wide to Akins. There's green jerseys everywhere. Akins trying to split the defence. Plays it on the 20. He needs to play it quickly. Jones out to Addy. Addy flat pass for Bussey. Bussey, the siren sounds. This will be the last play of the game. This will be the last play of the game. The ball comes out to Day. Day finds the pass for Minikin. The ball not dead yet. Minikin wrapped up, finds the offload for Jones to Win. Win trying to go down the touchline, finds an offload for Day. It's battered backwards by Featherstone. Play on. Nakabawai onto England. The ball knocked down there by Swinton. This will be 6 again. The ball is still live. Akins wrapped up by Minikin has the ball, fires the pass out, it's taken by Patton, and that will be the play that seals the game for Swinton Lions. And the players all around from both sides collapse to the ground in exhaustion. It's been an enthralling encounter. An extremely high-scoring game in which both sides will admit their defence needed to be better. Plenty of tries scored in this game, but Featherstone will certainly see that game as one that got away from them. They roared into the lead in the second half with 3 quick tries to Connor Wynn, Greg Minikin and Danny Addy to take a 12-point lead. But as it happened in the first half, late in the second half, all belonged to Swinton Lions with tries to Gavin Roden, Mitchell Cox and Andrew Badrock. Connor Jones went over to level things up with just 6 minutes remaining, but then off the kick-off, Featherstone, a couple of tackles into the set, penalised in possession for an obstruction, and Deck Patton piloted the penalty goal between the posts with 5 minutes remaining. Swinton did just enough to hold on, and they claim a vital win in the context of their season. But as it is, back-to-back defeats for Featherstone Rovers. Agonising going into their week off now. They will have a break to freshen up some bodies. Certainly plenty of things to build on, some really good positives from the game. Greg Eden doing a great job alongside Ben Nakabawa, some really good touches from Jack Brown as well, but ultimately ending in frustration and defeat. James Ford and his side will be wondering what could have been. Full time here at the Millennium Stadium. It's finished. Featherstone Rovers 40, Swinton Lions 42. Thank you very much for listening on FRTV. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.